Konnichiwa. Elisa. Shall we begin soon? You want me to read this? What's up? What's this? Eh? Honto? Is this even possible? Maji kayo. You want me to change the intro? Let me think about this. How are you supposed to do this? Today, we have an amazing challenge, everyone. Recently, in Japan, there have been much talk about how Japan is so populated with tourists, with Japanese officials actually coming out to report that as recent as March in 2024, this year, there have been more than 3 million tourists that have visited Japan. What a mind-blowing number. And I believe majority of the tourists are here in Tokyo. And Tokyo being one of the most populated cities in the world, I'm pretty certain majority of the population are not tourists. So who actually make up majority of the population? The answer, the salaryman. Do you know that there are actually more than 6 million salarymen in Tokyo? I bet you didn't know about that, isn't it? Here in Tokyo, there are more than 6 million kaisha-ins, making salarymen the biggest group of people here in Tokyo. And I thought it would be great to show what salarymen usually have for lunch, since there have been a lot of discussion among locals here in Japan about the rising food cost. But as you saw earlier, our plan was foiled, and instead, we're going to have a challenge. I am given one evening to plan a 5-day lunch meal plan. And in this particular meal plan, there are 3 conditions. For each meal, the meal cannot exceed 490 yen. The second condition, there can be no repeats. The third condition, I cannot go to a convenience store, no instant food cheat codes like cup noodles, potato chips, sandwich, and all of that. Yeah, is this even possible? Who even thought of this? 490 yen? I wonder how they come up with that number. But yeah, so I guess we have a lot to do this evening. Ready? Let's go. We begin today with the start of the work week, and everyone is sort of feeling the usual Monday blues. So, I like to have something that hits home the most to help us ease into the work week better. And after much research, I found the perfect food for it. An all-time Japanese classic, the bento box. Now, as to why I chose the bento box, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted something that hits home the most. I'm actually looking for the place right now. It is around here. And the part that helps us achieve that the most in a bento box, believe it or not, it is actually not the highlight item. Do you want to take a guess what it is? It is something that really hits home close. It is actually the rice component. In one other study I read, it was found that in 2022, a Japanese consumes on average not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, LeBron, I'm looking at you, kg of rice, but rather 50.7 kg of rice in 2022. And if you think that's a lot, in 1962, it was a whopping 118 kg of rice. So I'm sure the bento box is the perfect selection for a Monday. And I'm sure my choice place that I found will definitely shock you. I present to you the bento box specialist, Fukute. Over here at Fukute, you'll find a large variety of bento boxes. From Chinese food mains to iconic Japanese mains like your fried food of the world, like your karages, so and so forth. Whatever type of bentos you're looking for, Fukute got you covered. And all of these right here, you will not believe what I'm about to tell you. Each of those bento boxes cost only 390 yen. Nani? I chose this, the Shogayaki bento. That's the first thing that caught my eye as I entered the shop. Now, despite
it being only 390 yen, the bento boxes from Fukute looks really full. So full in fact that it feels like it can explode at any given time. And especially since all the bento boxes look really delicious, I really had a hard time deciding which bento box to choose. Oh, just, magnificent. And I was actually doing some research about Fukute. There was actually someone who went to measure how heavy this particular bento box was. And to his surprise, he actually measured this particular bento box to be around 500 grams. Can you believe it? 500 grams. So yeah, it's pretty heavy. And yeah, from the looks of it, just pretty awesome. Now let's take a look what's inside. Oh, have a look at that. Looks brilliant, isn't it? Oh. Shogayaki is actually ginger pork. Shoga is ginger. Yaki is grilled. So the pork is actually marinated with ginger and thereafter grilled. Itadakimasu. Alright, let's try. Now, as with any dish, I'm going to try the rice first. Despite only 390 yen, the shop actually state that they actually use a brand rice, This particular rice is actually from Ibaraki. This is the Koshi Hikari rice. And yeah, this rice is actually pretty famous in Japan. And it's not cheap. So if you can find such a particular brand rice in a 390 yen bento box, oof, what value here. No ordinary rice. Very soft, very fluffy, chewy as well. And yeah, the Japanese rice sweetness, oof, just that, perfect. As mentioned, this pork meat here has been marinated with ginger. So yeah, I can expect a sort of a tangy taste. But yeah, it looks really juicy, and especially with the onions. Fabulous. The very iconic grilled pork taste, definitely inside here. And then the ginger provide the freshness. Oof, making this a very delicious main dish here. Now let's try the onions. Oishii. Totemo oishii. Now, shogayaki is actually a pretty common main dish in a bento box. And interestingly enough, it is also a pretty common home dish. Because shogayaki, this particular dish, can be easily prepared. The ingredients are pretty simple. You have onions, you have pork, and you just marinate the pork with ginger or garlic, and then you just grill them. And yeah, while eating this, it really reminds me of home, the feeling of home cooked food. Just awesome, just awesome. I mean, over here, you have quantity from the main dish, quantity from the rice, and overall, the taste completes the trifecta effect. Just unbeatable value here. Oof. Now, this is a crucial point to bring up. Especially in recent times, there's so much ongoing discussion about the rising food and beverage prices here in Japan. And just when, everything seems to be rising at a very rapid rate, this Fukute bento box is 390 yen. I really hope Fukute would be able to continue to provide this really great value for money bento box. Hey, watch me. Do you see the sky moving? Do you see the sky time-lapsing? No? Let me try again. I saw on Netflix the Three Body Problem show. I saw how they move time. And since we need to move time to Tuesday, I thought we could do the same. Any time-lapsing happening? It didn't work, ain't it? Looks like I've been scammed. I knew it would be difficult, but I did not expect it to be this difficult. After more than 1 hour of searching, I only actually managed to find one possible option for us to use. I mean, if this was last year,
I probably would have found a lot more, but I guess the food price hike currently in Japan is real, guys. It's actually real. So I actually asked the team how they actually managed to come up with this clause of 490 yen and under. They actually told me that recently, local Japanese news broadcast TBS did a report to show that the average Japanese salaryman lunch spending was 452 yen. Yup, 452 yen. Nani kore? And our team actually found other survey data to actually strengthen what was actually shown on that TBS broadcast. They took all the survey data from various outlets and did an average. And from there, they deliberately came up with something under 500 yen to make it a challenge. Yeah, so that's how we got 490 yen. Now, you might be wondering, what does 452 yen get you in Japan, especially in Tokyo we are talking about? Absolutely nothing. I mean, even cocoa curry, their most basic curry set, is at least 570 yen and above. So, I mean, I'm talking about the basic curry set with minced pork. It's like 570 yen to 590 yen, depending on where you are. So I'm actually desperately searching and I really couldn't find anything. I actually only managed to find one option, and that's Caesarea. You can see over here. You see, over here, this is like, 339 yen, 364 yen. But let's leave Caesarea as, our last resort because I want more Japanese type food, Japanese cuisine, so on and so forth. If really we couldn't find any, then Caesarea would be one option. We are currently in Tokyo. If this is not Tokyo, probably like in the suburbs, we are talking about Yokohama, Chiba and all that. Probably I could have found some, but if not, it's difficult. Yeah, tough. Let's go. I am not sure about you, but to me, Tuesday feels more like the start of the week than Monday. That's because for Monday, you need some time for your engine to get started, but Tuesday, you're raring to go. So for Tuesday, I was thinking, since Tuesday is going to be a high-octane day, I need something delicious, something yummy to, give us energy for the remainder of the day. And so, we will have ramen. You have to understand one thing, guys. Ramen is a very, it's a very expensive dish, especially when it comes to our challenge, where every yen matters. Now, why ramen is a very expensive dish is because the ingredients used, the noodles, right, the char siu, the meat, and all the other side ingredients, making this dish very expensive. And not just that, the extensive preparation method, the broth, guys. Oof, when you add all of that up, I dare say, ramen, this particular dish, in the entire meal plan, the 5-day meal plan, this was the most difficult to find of all. Look at that. Look at this here. Ooh, look at this. Look at the meat here. Look at the broth. Now you understand why, right? Just unbelievably expensive. At least for our challenge. So we ordered 2. And this is the tomato cheese ramen. This is my first time eating a tomato cheese ramen. Interesting. I actually thought this was impossible to find because most of the ramen places that I actually searched, all their ramens on average starts from 550 yen onwards. The most common price I actually saw was 600 yen. Many shops were selling ramen at 600 yen. I actually almost gave up and say, let's go for something else. But we did it. We managed to find ramen that is 490 yen and below. Look at that. Magical, guys. Magical. The name of this place is called Uobe. If you are thinking this is a ramen shop, Nana, wanna guess? You will not believe it. The place serving such heavenly ramen is actually a sushi place. The noodle, a very traditional ramen yellow noodle. Yeah, I would say the char siu slice is really thin though, but well, it's only 400 yen, so what can you expect? Oh, I can taste the tanginess from the tomato, the sourness, and then after the cheese, the creaminess of the cheese sips in. It gives me, the kind of feeling that I'm eating a pizza, like a dish. Yeah, brilliant. A lot better than I expected. Now, have you guys eaten the Nissin cup noodles, the tomato one? Yeah, very reminiscent of that particular Nissin cup noodle. Ooh, yeah, very surprised by the quality, and 400 yen only. What more can you expect? Let alone having a bowl of ramen in front of you. Yeah, awesome. This being in a conveyor sushi place, usually you will not want to order side dishes because that will make you full, especially ramen. But having tried this ramen right now, I will order. It is that good, guys. It is that good.
Did you know that the average salary in Japan is 4.14 million yen in 2023? With the 50 and above age group making the most at 6.07 million yen, and the 20s age group making the least, on average at 3.52 million yen. If that's the case, and even with the rising food and beverage cost, how is it that the average lunch spending could be so low at 452 yen?
I found some very interesting data concerning our salaryman deep dive. According to Ants Work Japan, a company that owns a rice bowl chain over here in Japan, discovered that over 40% in a 1,000-strong salaryman survey actually have their lunch packed from home and bring it to the office. This could actually explain why the average lunch spend is so low, because they actually don't have to buy lunch at all. Convenience store came in a close second at 33%, with your packed lunches and instant cup ramens. And under 30% will be everything else under the umbrella. Are things like your onigiri rice bowls, packet drinks, okashi snacks, and others. And with that, our Wednesday recommendations? Onigiris. Yeah, I know. Wednesdays are pretty tough because it's in the middle of the week. We are nowhere close to the weekends. And usually on Wednesdays, you have your, very iconic long meetings. Yeah, the going gets pretty tough. And you like something to just get by. And this is where my onigiri recommendation comes in. Now, this particular onigiri actually is from a brand onigiri shop. A chain shop actually, called Omusubi Gombe. This chain onigiri shops can be found scattered all over Tokyo. Okay, I know, it's still an onigiri only. Never mind about that. But there's actually something special about this particular deal. And that is actually the deal in which these onigiris are being sold. At Omusubi Gombe, I could actually get them in a meal whereby these two onigiris, together with a third side dish, all these are actually only 450 yen. Oh, what a deal! And actually, this particular deal is actually better than the convenience store. Now, we shouldn't underestimate, these onigiris. I tell you why. And that's because in the survey, the same survey by Ants Work Japan, they actually found that majority of the salarymen actually prefer value, which is cheaper in price point, over taste. In third place is volume. So ultimately, value is still the champion. Now, but interestingly enough, in that survey, the follow-up question was this. If the salarymen actually have no need to worry about finances, would they be interested in having a hearty lunch, an extravagant lunch? Majority of them said yes. So at the end of the day, I guess money matters. Today,
it's the first time this week you can actually smell a hint of the weekend. Yes, that's right, it's Thursday. And with that, your senses tingling with the sense of freedom. Your appetite is back. Yep, so as I mentioned earlier, the average Japanese salaryman don't just look for, quantity. And as we saw yesterday, we actually went for value. And today, with your appetite back and all that, gearing up for the weekend, we're gonna go for taste, deliciousness. And what better way to do so than this?
So far, we already have eaten almost everything that gives us max value. So what could give us some unbelievable taste and craftsmanship that is below 490 yen? We already have 2 rice dishes and 1 noodle dish. Could it be another noodle dish? Don't tell me this!
I think in this setting here, I really look like a salaryman that is in a park having lunch. I had a lot of trouble looking for a suitable ramen that is within our condition. Likewise, udon was also difficult. Maybe just slightly easier than ramen, but still difficult. Among the 3 pillars of noodles in Japan, soba was actually the easiest. I could find many soba that is within our price range, but udon quite tough, but ramen was the toughest. So yeah, this is Marugame Seimen's udon. Look at that. Oof. Oh, the box is really heavy, by the way. Look at this. This is only 470 yen. Oh, what value. All the tempura pieces, the side dishes, you even have egg, and it's very heavy. Look at the amount of udon they gave. Oh my goodness. I mean, just now I mentioned let's have, taste this time, since yesterday, Wednesday, we had value for the onigiri. But I never expect this to have value also. Oh my goodness, 470. Oh, perfect. Probably gonna taste delicious. Let's dig in. Oh, the box is sealed. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's actually 2 pieces. Look at that. Oof. It looks really colorful and really, really delicious. This looks a lot like something you eat in a restaurant, guys. But now just in a takeout box, and we're having this in a park. Brilliant. Oh, look at this. So here you have the tempura pieces. 1, I believe this is fish. Looks like fish inside, fish cake type. This is your kakiyage, your side dishes, and this is your Welsh onions, and of course the egg. Yeah, all right guys. So this is cold udon. I'm just gonna open the sauce and just gonna flood it into the box. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Geronimo! Ooh. Now let's have a look at the udon first. Oof. Oh my goodness. Look at that. The udon, it's translucent. It looks very chewy though. That's a good sign. Not those mushy type, right? This is what real udon is. Pretty ironic. I'm actually having it here in a park rather than a restaurant. But here we go. Okay, let's take a this. I'm gonna try the udon first, and I'm gonna dip a little of the sauce. Mecha oishii. Wonderful. Oh my goodness. The udon is just, look at this. Just fabulous. So delicious, so chewy, but not, It doesn't taste like rubber, right? There is still some slight softness to it so that you can chew it well. Yeah, the chewiness is just nice, making it very, very fun to chew, but not tiring at all. Sugoi! This is indeed quality, guys. Indeed quality. Yeah, I never expect this, man. This research actually taught me many things, which is some of the best food in Japan could be found in the least expected places. That's one. Number two, the food in Japan, definitely of value, definitely taste. And yeah, I mean, honestly, look at this. We didn't stress quantity for udon, but look at that. Look at the amount of things that is present in this particular set here. And only 470 yen. This is a tempura fish cake. Yeah, pretty interesting. Let's try the kakiyage. Oh, look at the onions. Basically, it's just tempura vegetables. Vegetables tempura. I mean, I'm very surprised they actually gave 2 side dishes. Usually, I would expect only one. Yeah, so really a lot of value, if you actually just search for it. Oh my goodness, the mochiness is just so exquisite, Not too much, not too little, just nice. Pidi Neko was saying that I look like a lonely salaryman. Those which you watch in a Japanese movie or Japanese drama. This particular salaryman would be alone in a park, just sitting and contemplate life. Yeah, I actually look like that right now. No budget, no one to talk to, not even a place to eat. GG. GG.
No. It's Friday and I want to find something extraordinary because it's Friday and the weekend is right here and we're going to end off with a bang. I'm looking for some great fast food that is 490 yen, but so far, no option available. Ooh. But I'm sure I can do it.
Everyone, we did it. Ooh, we managed to find it. Judging from where I am, you probably guess what it is. Lo and behold, the Big M actually managed to pull through for us. I present to you Japan's cheapest fast food combination. Bam! Look at this. 190 yen, 170 yen, 120 yen. A total price of 480 yen. Whew. But I got to admit, the victory is not as flawless as it seems, because what we have here, the menu pricing, is actually the cheaper version. What do I mean by that? It is actually only present in Japan McDonald's that are outside the city area. The less touristy places, Chiba, Narita, so on and so forth, those menu items, their price actually cheaper than those in the touristy places. I think recently on news, Japan News actually reported a McDonald's, there's just one street or a few streets away, 2 McDonald's in Akihabara. They're about 2 streets away. Their pricing is actually different for the items for those 2 McDonald's there. Yeah, so this is actually the cheaper version, but I guess we still managed to achieve what we set out, under 490 yen. Now, some of you may tell me, but I could actually get a similar drink at a kombini for 100 yen for a lot more. That is true, but I'm at a singular place. Imagine I'm a salaryman, which I am right now, role-playing right now. I'm a place, I just want to buy everything at one spot. I don't want to go hunting from different places, the individual items here. So I guess this suffices here. Perfect.